It starts quiet, just you and the desert. It feels safe, but that's only the surface. You're never truly alone on the sands. That's the kind of world Dune Awakening drops you into. I spent the entire beta weekend deep in it, and I've got a lot to say, what stood out, what could use work, and whether this game is worth playing. Personally, I think it is, and I'll be there on launch day. I usually cover Once Human, but this video is all about my personal experience with Dune Awakening. And let's just say, it left an impression. If you played the beta too, drop a comment and let me know your thoughts on the game. And if you didn't, don't worry, by the end of this you'll have a clear feel for what Dune Awakening is really offering. Let's begin. Just a quick heads up, this is all based on my own time in the beta. I'm not a Dune lore expert and I didn't get to test every system in depth. But I'll walk you through what I saw and the impression it left. Now here's where we dig into what it actually feels like to play the game. I'm going to walk through some of the core systems, survival, gathering, crafting, combat and more. And I share my thoughts along the way. Before we dive into the systems, here's what kind of world you're stepping into. Dune Awakening is an MMO survival game set in the Dune universe. You create your character, pick a class, and then it's just you and the desert, at least in the beginning. There's PvE, PvP, open world dungeons, vehicles, as well as a whole world to explore, and even a desert that literally shifts and changes every week. Players even get to vote on what happens next under some conditions, like affecting conditions server-wide for a duration. It's a big and ambitious world, and here's how it plays. Let's start with survival mechanics. Right from the start, the world is out to end you. Water is scarce and you'll need to harvest it from plants or even convert blood into drinkable water. I know it might sound weird, but it's honestly a pretty cool twist on standard survival systems. You also need to watch the heat. Shade matters and the wrong gear can get you cooked quickly. And then there's the sand. Move across it too long, make too much noise and the sandworm shows up. And if it gets you, well, then you lose everything. Not just your inventory, even your equipped gear. Some zones even have patrol ships. If they catch you, they stun you and call in enemies. I like this. The whole survival loop just makes you play in a different way. It's not just about crafting gear, it's about respecting the environment and staying aware of your surroundings. Now, resource gathering in Dune Awakening isn't just walk up and press E, at least not always. You use scanners on nodes to pinpoint weak spots in rocks and then blast them with lasers. It's a small thing, but it makes gathering feel way more involved. Compared to something like Once Human, I find it more fun, more active and just more satisfying. Let's move on to crafting and research. Crafting ties into research. You collect intel from the world, camps, missions, exploration, and use it to unlock new items and upgrades. There are also single-use blueprints you can find, and repairing gear, well, it lowers the item's max durability until it eventually breaks. At first that sounded brutal, but I ended up liking it. It gives your gear a life cycle. You don't just make something once and forget about it, you're always planning ahead. Vehicles follow the same philosophy. You build them piece by piece, weld them together, repair or upgrade each part. It actually feels like you built something. That's kinda cool. As for trading, player-to-player trading is in, and auction houses to be expected at launch. One feature that sounds super interesting is the mapping system. Since the desert shifts weekly, players will be able to chart areas and sell their maps to others. I didn't get to test this myself, so I don't know that much about it, but I like the idea. It definitely sounds like something that could add a new layer to exploration and trade. That said, I do wonder how it'll hold up long term. If bots flood the market, it might lose its value. Guess we'll see. Building in Dune is more structured than Once Human, but smoother. Snapping is cleaner, placement feels reliable, and you can really make some cool stuff. It's not as creatively free as Once Human, at least not yet, but what's there feels really solid. I spent way more time building than I expected, and honestly, I had fun with it. If you're a builder, I want to hear what kind of base you dream up for the desert. Let me know in the comments. Now, let's talk about combat, because this one might be a bit divisive. Melee in Dune Awakening feels intentional. You got light attacks and slow heavy strikes that break through shields. If you know the Dune lore, those energy shields are a big deal, so it makes sense that heavy melee attacks are important. It's not trying to be flashy, it's trying to feel like Dune, and I think it does. Ranged weapons are what you expect. Pistols, rifles, aim, shoot, reload. They feel fine, nothing crazy, but together with melee, the whole system works well for what the game is going for. There are 5 classes: Trooper, Mentat, Bene Gesserit, Swordmaster and Planetologist. You start by choosing one class, but you can unlock the others through gameplay. And by the way, respecs are free with a short cooldown. That means you're not locked in, you can experiment with different builds and playstyles. This system gives you flexibility, while once human has a complete open system with no classes, Dune Awakening offers a hybrid. You start with a class, but over time you can learn them all and mix things how you like. Personally, I started with Mentat, but I'm curious, what would you pick first? Let me know in the comments. I didn't get to try PvP in the beta, and honestly, I'm not sure it was fully enabled. What we do know is that PvP will be part of the full game. The Deep Desert will be an open PvP zone and some high value locations will also be contested. So yeah, if you want that high risk reward experience, it'll be there. Now, this part is a bit more complex, and I'll be honest, I'm still placing some of it together. But from what I've seen, Dune Awakening doesn't just have factions, it has full-on politics tied into something called Landsraad. Right now, there are two main factions, House Atreides and House Harkonnen, classic Dune rivals. Atreides stands for leadership, honor and loyalty, earning respect through strength and fairness, not fear. Harkonnen is all about domination, control and brute power. Each week, players complete missions for any of 25 minor houses, contributing influence toward one of the two main factions. The more your guild contributes, the more voting power you earn. But here's the catch. To participate in this political system, you need to be in a guild, and everyone in that guild must be aligned with the same faction. No mixed loyalties here. So what's the point of all of this? Well, voting power lets your guild influence how the server changes for the coming week. You could vote in benefits, restrictions, as well as changes that affect PvE or PvP. It's more than just bragging rights, these votes shape the world. And yeah, this system can get political fast. One example I heard in one of the dev livestreams: if you're a PvE player who's not into PvP and your guild earns enough voting power, you could actually vote against full loot drops in PvP, just to mess with the more aggressive players. Brutal but clever, and kinda awesome. It's complex, it's tactical, and honestly I think it's one of the coolest systems in the game. I don't know if more factions or houses will be added in the future, but I hope so. Personally, I've always been a fan of House Ordos, even though it might not be official canon. Still, fingers crossed. The endgame wasn't available in the beta, but the foundation is there. Gear decay, faction progression, long-term research, PvP zones, these are systems built to last. The world feels massive. If they keep adding content, events and maybe deeper political systems, the endgame could be where this really takes off. Dune Awakening surprised me. The survival mechanics are refined, the systems work together, and the desert, it's not just a backdrop, it feels like a character. This isn't a survival game that just happens to be set in Dune, it's a Dune game that happens to be survival. And that's what makes it stand out. That said, it's still early, performance was shaky at times, even though I got some great hardware and I hit a few bugs and crashes. Combat won't be for everyone, it's not a Twitch shooter, but for me it fits. And the gear system, where repair lowers durability, might annoy some players. I like it, it adds tension, makes you plan ahead. Same with the one-time use blueprints. Could be great for trade or frustrating if not balanced. But overall, I had a blast. If you're into survival MMOs and you like the Dune setting, then I think this is a game that might be worth your time. So, what do you think? Are you planning to play Dune Awakening? What class would you go for? And if you played the beta, what stood out to you? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more survival game content like this, hit like and subscribe. I've got more coming soon. That's it for this video. Have a nice day everyone, and hey, stay off the sand.